man is back.
Oh, okay, oh my gosh, the ring got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have delivered. You know what I'm saying? It's true. You know what I'm saying? But oh, look at that! Oh my God!
This is your boy.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash the True Inferno. Back at it with another Call of Duty Modern Warfare commentary video for you guys. And this is a topic that I've been meaning to do for a long time. And I'm going to give you guys a few disclaimers all throughout this video so you can completely understand where I'm coming from with this topic without no issues. So, yeah. Let me start off with this one disclaimer right now. So, in today's society, not everybody, but there are some of you, some of the people within this society who had this mindset where if one person or whoever, if somebody don't know something, they should be ridiculed, they should be made fun of, they should be, dissed because they should know something that everybody else, quote unquote, in society would deem obvious. And I'm like, that's not how it works. So in this video, I want to address something that I have little knowledge about, and I want to be educated because this has been, on my mind for a good minute, and I've seen this topic come up once in a while, and I want to get to the bottom of it. Is that a crime for me to get to the bottom of that? Is it a crime for me to be educated, for me to want to seek knowledge? Because, it's something that I want to do in this case, whatever the case may be. Because let me remind you all, we were not born with an IQ of 200 or whatever the case may be. We were all born as idiots. We were all born as dumbasses, which is fine. Because as a baby, you don't know anything. And what happens? You learn. That's what happens. You learn, whether you by watching, by listening, by speaking, whatever. You learn. That's how things go. That's how we evolve. And you can never stop learning. If you stop learning, then you're an idiot. Truly, you're an idiot. Think about that. But yeah, that's beside the point. So the disclaimer here is I am seeking knowledge on this topic, and that should not be a crime. Now, I will also give you another disclaimer. Despite what this topic is about and my stance on this topic, I am not here in any way, shape, or form to ridicule anybody or to make fun of anybody. I just want to point out the facts and, be blunt and fair about it, and just tell it like it is. So again, I'm not dissing anybody. I'm not calling anybody out, whether it's specifically or in general. I'm not doing that. I'm just calling it as I see it. Now, with those disclaimers out the way, and again, there's going to be more in the video. Let's talk about the topic at hand here. What's wrong with the word female? So let me give you guys a backstory to this one. So a number of years back, yes, I'm guilty of this. I used to call, I call women a lot of things outside from the negative stuff, like chick and who says babe? Who says babe nowadays? But anywho, like chick or woman, lady, and I'll call them female as well, and or obviously by the name if I know them, wherever the case may be. And it was one of my boys who said, "Oh man, you could be saying female." And I remember one time I asked him why, and he never told me, which is a good thing on his part, because if he was to tell me why, I may have to question his manhood a little bit. But yeah, that's beside the point. So that's, and that's really the main thing about this topic. What's the harm in this? So that's the issue. That's the issue. So again, I want to be educated on this because I truly don't know. Nobody never explained this to me, so I truly want to know about this. So here's why, and I'm taking the stance of I don't see how this is a big deal. I don't see how this is offensive, because some people say, "Oh, it's not telling me," but I've seen people say this. They'll say it's offensive, but they don't say how. So I'm like, how is it offensive? So because, and I'm gonna give you some, pointers that basically says that this is not offensive. So the first pointer, and this is actually the weaker point out of all my reasons, and that is this. I have seen some women refer to their own as females. Not, oh, look at that female officer or look at that female nurse or whatever. No, they would call each other females. So now you're probably wondering, why is that a weak point? Well, I can flip that around and say the following. You know how there's within the black community, we like to, you know, especially the males, we like to call each other nigga all the time with the A at the end or whatever the case may be. That's our thing. We don't need anyone outside of the African American / black people community calling us or each other any form of that word. We don't need that. That's an issue. So this is the case where we can get away with that, but you can't. Here's another example. Obviously, I'm from Detroit, so we have our sports teams. Now, the one sports team that kind of been horrible constantly over the years are the Detroit Lions. We, as Detroiters, in some cases even as Michiganders, can trash talk our own team. We do not need somebody from Cleveland or Green Bay or Chicago or Minnesota or Dallas or wherever trash talking our team, because we will rally up and defend our team against you. Doesn't matter how correct you are in terms of how bad our team suck, whatever the case may be. We don't need to hear that from you. That's our thing, not your thing. Another example is, like, let's say there's a family feud. What I mean by family feud is, I mean there's a feud within one family. So like the cousins are going at it or the siblings are going at it. The last thing we need as a family is for an outsider to try to jump in and take side. No, the family feud will end quickly and we will all gang up on you, the outsider. So don't do that. So for women to call each other female, I can understand them using that argument against me in this case. So I can understand. That's why I say this is a weak point. But I do want to bring that out there. Now, let's get to the more stronger points. And I'm going to start by asking you guys and gals this question. When you fill out a job application, when you fill out a form at the doctor, at the dentist, at the hospital, you know, wherever the case may be, when you fill something out and they ask for your gender, sometimes you would see man or woman, but let's be real. Sometimes you will also see male or female. And if you are a woman, which one you clicking? Which one you checking off? You checking off the female. So there you go right there. And I'm going to bring up the third point. And with the third point, here's where another disclaimer. Actually, the third point can be explained in the form of a disclaimer. So this is the third point right here in the form of this disclaimer. I said this in a few videos way back, and I'm going to say it again here. A large number of society today have this me mentality where they don't really care about anybody else. They just care about themselves. I don't care about you. I only care about me. In some cases, that is true. That is a good thing when it comes to your money, when it comes to your living situation, when it comes to really important stuff. But like, there's other things where it's like, no, we don't need that attitude. You're supposed to be courteous towards other people. But at the same time, I say, yeah, you gotta worry about your money and worry about your living situation. Like, that don't mean kill somebody else for or anything like that. But either way, a number of you guys have this me mentality. So how does that apply to this? If somebody says something, right? Let's say I told a stupid joke about cutting cheese. And then somebody who just so happens to be an animal lover, like a really extreme animal lover, hears that joke and thinking, okay, hold up. So cheese comes from cows. And if you're cutting the cheese, you're cutting the cow. And then they're going to come at me and accuse me of cutting cows, or killing cows. And I'm like, I never said that. And it's where the me argument comes to play. I don't care what you mean. I only care about how I took it. I'm like, seriously? So, I mean, you ain't gonna look both ways. You ain't gonna like put yourself in the other person's shoes, which is, again, a large number of you cats do not do this, and say, okay, he says this and she says this. What does she or he really mean by it? Does he really mean how I think they mean? More than likely, no. So in this case, if somebody said, oh man, look at that female, and you find it offensive, and I'm like, how's that offensive? Like, again, the intention is not to be offensive. The intention is, yo, the gender here is a woman, the gender here is a lady, the gender here is a female. I mean, so how is that? Again, I don't understand how that's offensive. And then I just thought of my other reason why. Well, although this is like, well, no, I can think of another reason. There's another point in terms of this whole female argument fiasco, and that is this. I don't understand how offensive being called a female is, but I can think of way worse things to be called outside of female. And some of those things y'all refer to each other as. Like, oh, I can think of, let me see, the word bitch. I can think of the word hoe. I can think of the word slut and tramp. And there's a few other things that I may not even be aware of. But yeah, I have to say all four of those things that I mentioned are worse. It has to be worse than being called a female. But yet you got some of y'all going, I'm the baddest bitch, or I'm the baddest hoe. I'm like, so wait, what? You're the baddest female dog? You're the baddest slut? And yet you have an issue with being called a female? What? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It really, really don't. So again, when I did this, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. I'm not trying to poke fun at anybody or call anybody or anybody out rather or diss anybody. I just want knowledge. I want to be educated on this topic. What? Like, how is being called a female offensive? That is my question. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Address my my points in terms of how, in terms of why being called female isn't offensive and things of that nature. Cause I seriously do want to be educated, and like give me like valid reasons to make me go, oh, you know what? Okay, I can see that point. Okay, now do I do it now? No, I don't do it now, but I always had this thought in my mind, like, what's the big deal about it? I never understood that, and I just want to be educated. So I'm gonna call it a wrap. And with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New J Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.